Hi guys.
Oh, hello.
Hey. Today Tim and I are going to be talking about...
Warcraft.
We're going to be reviewing the film because we saw it in the cinemas and 'twas awesome. 'Twas most awesome.
What else? Oh, twice in fact.
We did. We both saw it twice actually. So this is a non-spoiler review. Don't worry if you haven't seen the film. However, we are going to do a spoiler edition as well. So if you want to see that too, I'll leave it linked at the end and in the description of the video. And you
We
can
won't spoil it all.
Yeah.
We're just totally ruin the movie for you.
just spoil it in that. But this is going to be non-spoiler.
Where to start?
Mm.
Performances.
Some amazing acting in this.
Yeah. I couldn't really fault anyone in the film.
No, everyone was really, really, really good except Lothar's son.
Ah.
He was not a bad actor necessarily, just a non-character.
He existed primarily, not primarily, solely to be Lothar's son.
Yeah, there wasn't any scenes with just him in it. I mean, it was literally just like, oh hey, you know, I'm this guy's dad. Yeah, he's my son. Yeah, okay.
That guy we did.
That guy. I mean, I'm not even sure I know his name.
I wrote it down.
Hold on, let me check.
I wrote it down and I didn't commit it to memory.
There is nothing he says that makes you actually empathise with the character at all.
No.
You need that. I mean, maybe they cut some scenes or something.
That's what I'm thinking.
But
That he just didn't get enough for us to be like, you know.
to care about him.
I couldn't even describe what he looked like right now.
He had brown hair, didn't he?
He had blonde. He had hair.
He had hair.
I can confirm he had hair. He was Lothar's son and he had hair.
There's confirmation of hair.
Yeah.
Oh, Kalin?
Kalin!
So, yeah, Kalin, better scenes needed to be made.
Yeah, I kind of forgot he was in it.
I kept forgetting about him.
Pretty much in 4 scenes.
4 scenes.
Kind of dragged out through the course of the movie and just enough time for you to forget about him from the pop-up again. Oh yeah, this character exists. And it's like, come again. And then it's like, oh yeah, you're going to do this again.
Actually, one thing I'd like to talk about, I know it's a bit off topic, but it just reminded me. I don't know how, but anyway. The costume department in this was just unbelievable. The costumes were amazing. Like wow. Can I have your costumes, please? Because Ruth Negga, she plays the Queen, and her costume is to die for. Like it looks like crushed velvet and just it's amazing. The detail in it is exquisite, and the King, who's played by Dominic Cooper, who incidentally also plays Howard Stark in Agent Carter, which just please Netflix, pick up Agent Carter. I cannot lose Agent Carter, okay? I know I'm going off topic here, but don't let me lose Agent Carter. He has, this really fine chain around his neck, and it's really intricate. It looks amazing, and I just thought, costumes, wow, amazing. Obviously a great deal of it's CG for the orcs and things like that, but for the King and Queen especially, the costumes were incredible.
I wrote the stats wrong.
Actually, what's the Queen's name?
Lady Terrier.
Lady Terrier.
No.
Yeah, because they never really mention it much. I think they maybe say it once. I'm not sure they might mention it.
It's almost like an establishing part, like just Lady Terrier. That's now we know. Now the audience knows your character name. We'll never use it again.
Yeah, it's just like, you're the Queen, you're the Queen, you're the Queen, and you're like, okay, I've kind of forgotten your actual name now.
I kept wondering, people who haven't played any of the games, any of World of Warcraft or the strategy games, what their opinion of it would be.
Yeah. Especially
just watching it for that first time, because I'm fairly versed on the lore that the games have. But people who have not seen any of it, not played any of it, going in there, would they be lost? And
there's if you're not familiar with the games and the lore and that, there's a lot of characters that are introduced in quite a, oh that's so and so, and then they do their thing, and then they're not really introduced again after that, because I suppose the film's mostly for people who've played the game. So the CG on the film was just wow. And they had a lot of the places from the game in it, that really did look like the game, in as much as, they were trying to make them look more realistic, obviously.
But
they just looked so good, didn't they?
There's almost an unrealistic quality to it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a good one. It's like normally when you have a lot of CG.
Yeah, you want it to look either perfectly real or obviously not real. This had an in between. I think it wasn't like totally not real looking, but it had that almost game like quality to it.
It was basically as photorealistic as you could make the games. Because particularly, well, since Warcraft 3, they've had that kind of cartoon quality to the graphics.
Yeah.
And they've kept this with World of Warcraft. But they've managed to do it now with this in a way that's both photorealistic but still clings to the aesthetics of the game. So we're really well done.
It was actually, to be honest, a bit of a feat. I think to make it look so much like the game and yet not jarring, because there was real people in it as well. So if you'd made it too game like, it could have been very jarring whenever you had the real people in it. But it didn't. It all flowed very well. And even when the orcs and the humans were interacting, that didn't look wrong.
No.
You know, they looked close enough.
Yeah, it wasn't human interacting with clearly CG character.
Yeah. It worked. The only bit actually that I thought, there's one bit where they fly over some mountains, and the mountains look like the mountains in the game, but they don't have the same quality, and I find that really weird. They're flying over some like snowy mountains, and they look too real. You know, like you could be watching a documentary of New Zealand or something. They just look too crisp and perfect and real, and it's very jarring because everything else has this very slightly game-like, dream-like quality to it, and then the mountains are just there. They're real, like you could be looking at them, and
they're too real world.
Yeah, and it cuts straight from those to a scene with the orcs in a field, which looks very game-like, and it's like, oh, you know, it just looks so jarring how intensely crisp they are. I think they should have made them a little bit almost hazier, if you know what I mean. Because everything else in the thing is like the only time I noticed that, literally the only time. But the CG was amazing, and Elwyn Forest, they did that. I think they probably did that in a studio.
I'd imagine so. It's more like maybe they built a bit part of the forest in the studio and then just filled in the rest with green screen. I'd be very curious to see actually some of the behind the scenes, because I want to see. I'd imagine the actors were probably on set with the rigs, and just so they could perform as the orcs, and then were just replaced, because the performances were very good. It's very kind of, it's almost like Andy Serkis in Lord of the Rings.
Oh, who is amazing, by the way.
It's not just, they're not voice acting it. They're actually, I'd imagine they're on set.
Yeah, the acting, especially the acting with CG characters, was really, really good, and I think that's something that's must be very hard to do, actually, to act with a CG character and give the same level of performance, you know. But they did a fantastic job of it.
Yeah, I'd imagine it with was it Daniel Wu, Clancy Brown, I'd imagine they were all on set doing performance capture.
Probably. I mean, sometimes they do literally do things like that to a stick with a tennis ball on the end of it, but I would imagine they were probably on set because the performances were so
intricate. Yeah,
it would have been very hard, I think, to do that without having them there. And if they did the right thing, because it brought us to life more. I feel. And Elwyn Forest, to go back to, they did the big sort of almost swirly trees, and they had a not fake but fake quality to them in just the right way. I felt they held on to the game, but they didn't make them look too unreal either. So it was that was really good. The only bit I really didn't like, there's a scene in it where they throw a horse. But you know, I'm being very nitpicky there, but it just, that annoyed me. I don't like that.
No, the horse got a bit of revenge though.
Yes. Oh, a horse did kick an orc quite hard on his back legs, and I was like, yeah, go horse. You kick that orc.
There are a lot of nice little touches to particularly World of Warcraft. I think the thing is, pretty much every video game that gets adapted into a movie has a reputation, probably a well-earned reputation of being bad.
Yeah.
And this, because of the lore that exists prior to the games, prior to the movie, it has the potential to be a successful franchise because
it has a lot more depth.
Yeah.
Than most games would, which
I mean,
think helps.
Things like turning Battleship into a video game. Sorry, movie.
Yeah.
Like, it is quite literally. It's actually, it's a board game. What am I saying?
Yeah, you're right, actually.
Like, there's no story there, so let's just throw in aliens because reasons. For reasons. But this, it has a story. It's like adapting a book. In fact, there are books. Like, there are Warcraft books already, novels and such. So the lore is chock full. And they've gone back to the first game. They've gone back to Warcraft's Orcs and Humans, and that's pretty much the story we have here.
Yeah.
With minor tweaks to kind of facilitate the expanding universe.
I think it's a good thing they started actually
back
that far, because it means it's harder to go back, but because they started there, then they can make more films.
For some reason, in some circles, I think it's probably Europe. The movie is called Warcraft: The Beginning, which is it's silly. Warcraft is
strange.
It's a better name, Warcraft.
And
the name The Beginning is very.
Maybe they did it to avoid confusion of the game. So, do you know what I mean? In the sense that you might say buy the DVD thinking it's the game. For
possibly,
idiots.
but I think they could have come up with a better name.
Is it called just Warcraft America?
I think so. I think it's just fairly certain it's just Warcraft Day and it's Warcraft The Beginning here. It's just one of those changes they make, like where they change the name overseas for no particular reason.
I've never really understood why they did that. Like Harry Potter and I know it's a bit off topic, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone changed to Sorcerer's Stone in America for no real reason. But renaming Warcraft for the European release, just a bit odd, a bit pointless.
But I'm just thinking of all the titles that the games have, right? Like they have like Beyond the Dark Portal, Tides of Darkness, Reign of Chaos, Frozen Throne, Burning Crusade, Wrath of the Lich King.
Yeah.
They pretty much all, maybe apart from Cataclysm, they all have these long-winded names.
Yeah.
That have that tell you the story or tell you what you're in for, whereas the Beginning is just a very boring name.
Yeah, it's like anything could be called The Beginning. Yeah, so overall, we thought that this was a very good, well-made film. There were things in it that we weren't as thrilled about, which we'll talk more about in the spoiler section. But overall, a fantastic adaptation from the game. And the main thing, I think, with this is that you still feel like it's the world that you live in when you play the game. And that's the most important thing for people that love the game, because the game is so loved across the world, to really feel like this is my home that I live in online, and not to feel like, okay, they're talking about these places, but it doesn't feel like the same place. It still felt like your little world. You
believe in the geography of the game. See, that's most games don't have their own map going into it. Like they actually have a map of the world that they're creating, so they're set. I can see
the map at one point.
Yeah, you see the map, and it's
well done. Have the little characters, and they've moved the map out to show where trips are. The map looked just like the Giant's Causeway, which is a landmark in Northern Ireland. It's actually known across the world, but they have these big hexagonal volcanic rocks, and they're sort of like pillars, and it just looked really like Giant's Causeway, and I just thought it looked so cool. I was like, oh.
Well, either that or King Lane really likes civilizations.
Yeah, yeah, actually.
Like most games don't have much to work with. They fill in the gaps. They don't have to fill in the gaps here. They can just make some alterations. I can see this being good synergy, in that people who play the game and it hasn't got the subscribers it had before. Like I think it was 2010 maybe, it had 12 million. That was the peak. So a lot of people have left the game and probably just they've played it for years.
It's kind of dipped in popularity, I think, a bit.
But I think with this film coming out, people who have played the game will might go, I might give it another whirl and just pop back in. So that's going to help. And also people who've just seen the movie have never played the game might be tempted to try the game.
Yeah, I think as well, like, people that have played the game previous, it's one of those things, if you've really gotten into it, really delved into the world, become a part of it, and then, you know, you maybe haven't played it even for a few years or whatever, and you see it on screen, just the reminder, I think, of all these places that I love so much, you know, it's something that when you love something that much, it really could make you go, do you know what, I'll just play it again.
I can remember back playing like a few years ago on it, and you kind of have memories. Which I don't know if that's, you know, good or bad. The fact that you can actually get nostalgic about a non-existing world. But yeah, so it's I suppose you like. I was like talking to people I've played with before. It's like, oh, remember the time we went there and we got completely ganked. But yeah,
battle stories.
Battle stories, yeah. Well, it's the safest way to have battle stories and, like, you know, not be injured. So that's good.
I love how you remember the places by the quests that you did in them. You know, you think, oh, I remember when I was doing this quest and this happened in this place and that, and then you see the place in the film and you're like, oh, you know, it's just
there are a few little hints, little nuggets of what's the word I'm looking for? Easter eggs.
Yeah. Oh.
Yes, there's a little Morlock spot in the film. There's it's Goldshire, the inn at Goldshire. You have particular fond memories of Goldshire.
Yeah. They go into the inn in Goldshire at one point, and it's just, you know, the way every inn is kind of laid out.
Yeah, but it's similar.
Yeah.
Like they just copied and pasted and it just changed a few things.
Yeah. It's like, there's the guy you get your hippogriffs off. That's the guy you get the quest off. That's the innkeeper.
All it was missing was just people, like, you know, dueling outside and just, like, you know, running up to you and just hopping up and down and just being generally annoying.
Yeah, you get some unpleasant folks sometimes in the games being rather irritating.
That's one word to use.
Yeah, irritating is one word to use.
There's other words, but we won't use those. No. And if we did, we'd edit it out.
Yeah. So I hope you guys have enjoyed our non-spoiler edition. So if you want to see the spoiler edition, there will be a link when we finish talking here that you can click on and you can go watch the spoiler edition. And if you haven't seen the film yet, go see it and then watch the spoiler edition. And I hope you enjoyed. So please give it a like, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to be notified whenever I make a new video. And I shall see you guys very soon. Bye guys.
Jenny?